Hey everyone, and welcome to Phantom Games and Tech. Today I'm assembling my new gaming PC, the 4K Phantom. This will be a video of the assembly of the CPU, the cooler, the power supply, the graphics processor, the two hard drives, all in the NZXT S340 Elite case. I've placed links in the description below to all the parts of this build, so if you'd like to pick one up yourself, doing so from these links will support my channel and won't cost you anything extra. Let me know what you think of these components and what games you'd like to see me run on the 4K Phantom. I'm already streaming some Mass Effect 2 footage on Twitch, and I'll be playing through many additional games, both new and classic, on Twitch and posting Let's Play videos on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to see more great game and tech videos. So, let's get on with the build. First, I'll be unboxing the CPU and seating it in the motherboard. It's the Intel i7-6700K processor, so I've decided not to overclock it right away, but I will eventually, and this piece was in the sweet spot for the price and the capability for my gaming and rendering needs. Next, you can see I'm inputting the 8GB RAM strips. There's two of those for 16 gigs of RAM. Those are the G.SKILL Ripjaws 5 series. The next piece is the CPU cooler. This piece in particular was kind of a cheap but functional decision. I went with the CRYORIG M9i. Like I said, I'm planning on water cooling this eventually, but this was an alternative to keep me going until I decide to overclock and need the water cooling. You can see this was kind of a meticulous build, or part of the build. I could never decide what side the fan should be on, whether the air should be blowing over the cooler or away from the cooler, but I did a little bit of research and reading, and I learned that the fan blows through the cooler so that the air blows out the back of the unit. Now I'm prepping the NZXT S340 Elite case. I have to say, I don't think I could have picked a better case for my taste. This is really a very pretty case. I get a lot of compliments on the aesthetics of my rig when company comes over and they see it. After getting the panels off, I go ahead and I prep the Toshiba P300 3TB mechanical hard drive. This part was easy, but eventually I had to go back in and move it for cable management purposes, which you'll see when I'm installing the SSD. Now I'm going to install the case mount on the PSU. The PSU is one of the tricky decisions for any PC build I learned during my research. So this is likely a little strong for my build, but it was on sale and high quality, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's the Corsair RM850X 850 watt fully modular power supply. For the next step, I moved the top intake fan to the front panel, and I prepped and installed the Samsung VNAND SSD 850 EVO hard drive. This is where you'll see me do some fidgeting with the cables, and I had to actually take out the mechanical hard drive in order to make room for the cabling. Alright, so now I'm going to put in the PSU and do some cable management. And this part was a little tricky for me because as a first-time builder, I wasn't sure what cables were for what. So I took some time for me to figure it out, but reading manuals and watching some videos really helped out a lot. And now, the moment that I've been waiting for, installing the motherboard into the case. You know, I was surprised how tight of a fit it was. I have to admit, I'm still concerned about the stress I put on the motherboard by the tight fit, but it did get in there, and after a few attempts, I firmly secured it with some screws. Remember, when you're installing a motherboard, not to tighten the screws too tightly so as not to break the board. And now, last but not least, the GPU. The ASUS STRIX GeForce GTX 1080 is an absolute beast. I mean, both in processing and in size and weight. This was another tight fit, but it went in, and it works beautifully in the build. Of course, the final part of the process is cable management, which I didn't capture on film. This is a very tedious part of the job, but I have to say, I don't know if I would ever be satisfied with it. But for now, I'm happy with it, and this is the final build in all its 4K Phantom splendor. Be sure to subscribe and like this video if you did, and if you didn't, you know what to do. Next up is some gameplay, so let me know in the comments what games you'd like to see, and I'll be sure and record some footage. And go check me out on twitch.tv/PhantomGNT. Until then, best wishes, and we'll see you again soon.